So we're just gonna get right into it. This is Mayhem GG, the website I'm using here. So we'll just start the video.
Oh, I would say I would say something.
So you can see where my positioning is right now. My team's over here, obviously, and I'm way over here. But this is a good flanking route to collect intelligence. You can see people coming through this area in the bottom. You can see maybe a Diva or a Widow or a Hanzo coming up right here in this area. Anybody that jumps up here. I have a lot of access right here. And I also know I have a health pack in here, a health pack that's behind me over here. And of course, I can use my mobility to get back to my team. And I have a lot of cover on this side. I can get away. There's also a health pack under here. I forgot about. So knowing where all the health packs are, that's critical. That's extremely important. So where you position yourself relative to your team, you always want to be paying attention to that. Where's their team? Where's my team? And where am I? That's why I think Genji is one of the hardest characters to play, right? He requires a lot of game sense. And let's just start this, and I'll show you the team comp.
Something like defensive because it's called diving.
All right, there's the team comp. So look at that. We have no mobility whatsoever. I'm the only person that has mobility. Our Widow's, she has mobility with her grappling hook, but she's fairly static. She's not going to be moving around like a whole lot. And of course, Mercy, I would much rather her not be flying all the way out to my position, right? Okay, so I'm telling you all this because you need to know how much you can get away with. There's nobody here that can bail me out right now. I can't be peeled for. If I get in trouble, I'm on my own. Mateo here on Zenyatta, he can heal me from a distance, and that's great. Other than that, I'm totally screwed. So this means I have to play more conservatively. I immediately know that my team's not going to help me. I need to be conservative. I can't be going for these super deep, cheeky flanks somewhere and expect it to work out. So I need to be picking out of position targets, any snipers, high ground, stuff like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to be focusing on right here is high ground, controlling that, making sure nobody gets to have it. Any kind of snipers especially is that's Genji's bread and butter. He can take out those long distance snipers really easily along with like Diva and Winston. They're great for that too. We'll just watch this progress.
I mean, I'm gonna be carefully getting picked.
Now you can hear me talking about be
Yeah,
careful, not diving.
Might go up. It was all the way in the back.
I'm watching for her.
There's a Diva. Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, they have a Widow.
They have a Widow, right? Yep. Let's kill her. All right, now.
Damn, Cole.
I have orb on you, Colt. Just put a Diva.
Okay. Okay, so now I have this position. Look how much ult charge I got from that. That was me poking the Diva and killing the Widow. So I'm way ahead now as far as farming my ult. That's you got to pay attention to that. How much poke can you get away with? That's another thing that's Genji's bread and butter is poking. You need to be able to poke as much as possible from obnoxious angles and weird positions, and he has all of the mobility in the world. So, I mean, as long as you can position yourself safely such that you can escape afterward, you're good. Just keep poking. Don't let them poke you. So focus on building ult as much as possible. Now, this Diva, I mean, look at her health right here. She's got nothing. I can get her out of mech. So I will have effectively killed the Widow and gotten the Diva out of mech. But their whole team is down here now, and they're down below me on the right. So they shouldn't be poking me from this position.
Someone's behind.
He's
So
jumping
you
out,
need to be
man.
very careful. Now I'm going to dive the Diva, and I'm
Oh, I
going to
got
get
moved
out.
off.
Look at this. Look at this. Get out, right? Their whole team is looking at me now, and they're already frustrated that I have that high ground. The Diva's out of mech, so I am turning around and deflecting. I need to leave. You know, this is bad news. This was, I mean, I could have very easily died here. But again, that ult charge, I mean, I'm already at 56%, and we're I mean, we're like 30 seconds into the match. This is great.
Hog, no.
Junkrat's
Poke,
underneath.
poke,
Junkrat's
keep
underneath.
poking.
I'm staying down.
Looking
Be
for a
careful, be careful.
poke.
Don't do any.
All right, now I know they have spawn advantage, right? Their Widow, unless she changed, and you don't see me check here to see if she did. Oh, and I think so this is a scrimmage. I think this Widow is like a one trick. Like she's got like an absurd amount of hours. Like she's a GM or Masters one trick Widow or something. I don't expect her to change. Anyway, point is they have spawn advantage. I know she's going to be spawning back now. She's going to be coming back, and I need to go look for her because it's my job as Genji to take her out and make sure she doesn't get to just have this zone of death. You know, Widow has this. Widow kind of makes space, right? She's in a way, she's not a tank at all, but she makes space kind of like one, right? She has this like Junkrat. Junkrat is an area denial, so not tank, area denial. Junkrat does the same thing. Well, Widow has these long sight lines, and she's one of those characters that you absolutely have to counter. If you just let Widow do what she wants to do, she's going to destroy your team the whole game, especially in lower ranks where people have bad positioning or they're not standing behind the shield. You know, these guys are going to be calling for you for Winston to go dive that Widow and Diva, go dive that Widow. It's really hard for Winston to do it by himself. Diva can do it, but what I often see is the Widow, you'll dive the Widow will jump down from her perch, wait for you to follow her, and then she'll grapple right back up. And then Monkey's fucked, right? He lost the position. He has to wait for his cooldown to jump right back up there, and he doesn't output a whole lot of damage. And what I do also see Winston's do when they dive Widow, they get headshot. So what I've seen happen is Monkey he'll dive up, and then he'll 180 while he's in the air, and he's like he's like his butt is facing the Widow, and his ass is like flying towards her. Right, that way he doesn't get headshot, and right before he lands, he flips around so that he can zap her with his Tesla cannon, right, his tickle gun. Anyway, some just peripheral knowledge. Here we go.
Tass, you shouldn't have gone that
There
way.
she is.
I got boots. What do you?
Oh, okay.
Mora's on.
Okay, watch that. Do you see how I didn't when I got down here? I dove her. I didn't start double jumping all around in the air. I crouched and AD strafed. If you're fighting a McCree or a Hanzo or Soldier you can double jump with because you want to avoid his grenade, right? He can shoot it into the ground even if you're deflecting, right? You don't want that. You can double jump around Soldier, but with these hit scan characters like this, like Widow and McCree, and Hanzo is he's not a hit scan, but don't be double jumping around those guys. AD left, right, left, right, strafe, and crouch. That's how I was able to win this fight. She could have just shot me in the face. And you see this shot, this shot moving right next to my face. The only reason I avoided it was because I was crouching and moving around. Anyway, now I'm at 80% ult. That's great. That's great. This game's going good. All right, now I'm looking for more opportunities to poke.
Fluff, you're so lucky.
Now,
Holy shit.
let's look at that. Wait a second. I just decided that I didn't want to do that.
I got
Let's
boots.
watch that.
What do you?
Oh, okay.
Mora's on my ass.
All right. So I see a Moira. Avoid Moira. If you play any Genji, I think you probably already know that. I'm not going to poke Moira, and I'm not going to be able to kill Moira, probably, unless I get lucky or just get some really, really high burst damage or I get some kind of help or something, right? So you see me kind of hesitate. I go up near this shield right here, right there, right? And I'm like, screw that. We're not going to go against Moira. The better position for me to poke from is right here. Their team still doesn't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm up here right now, which is silly because their sniper just got killed. The sniper should be calling out my position, but she fails to do that, which is good for me, right? But the payload's here. Payload's right here. Got a Junkrat. I can maybe deflect him or just, whatever. There's a lot of poke potential in this area right here. Not poke potential in this area and potential death over there. We don't want that.
Fuck her.
Focus hog, he's low.
Fluff, you're so lucky. Holy shit.
I
I'm
know.
gonna go Ryan.
Jungler discarded.
Widow back right.
All right. Look at all that poke right there. Look at that ult charge. I'm about to have my ult. That's great.
Congrats, G.
Oh, and of course I get out because the Moira sees me, and the fat guy, Roadhog, he turns around and he looks like he wants a piece too. So get out, leave.
Roadhog low, Roadhog low.
Oh,
Nice.
and the deflect works out in my favor.
Frickin' baby divas are trash.
All right, that's about all I wanted to show you on this video. We'll move to the next one and we'll start talking about momentum a little bit. I mentioned backing up and understand. These are my little talking points, my notes for you. Backing up and understanding how much momentum has been gained. I've got a video that exemplifies that quite a bit better. Change this.
Yeah, the room.
Okay, we want to
Yeah,
go
we have to
to
go to the
5:45.
lounge.
Okay.
Attack commences in 30
Why are we doing this?
Doesn't matter if they're good if they don't know each other that well.
Oh, 180 seconds is what I wanted actually. So 3 minutes. We're almost there. All right, this is King's Row. This is a great map for Genji. You can see, of course, the numerous flanking opportunities. You got the high ground up here. You got poke potential up here on this platform. There's a window, an upper window behind up here. Of course, we're on the main road. Don't be afraid to play Genji on the front line. Genji's great for that, especially with this Zarya right here that could have ult right now. Maybe I want to deflect that. A lot of times, Zarya, she'll telegraph her ult. Now, these are GMs. They're not going to be telegraphing their ult very much, and they're probably going to wait until I burn my deflect before they do it, right? So not expecting to get a deflect, but it's worth trying. Also, if they have a Reinhardt here on the front line, he's going to be fire striking this way towards my team. I can deflect that. Whole lot of poke potential with Genji on the front line. So in that last video, you saw me playing lots of flanking Genji, like traditional style Genji, right? Well, this is more brawling style Genji, where I'm poking from the front and I'm deflecting all kinds of stuff, and I'm looking for low HP heroes near the Reinhardt shield or the Zarya that won't get bubbled very quickly, and I can run in and assassinate them really fast and then swift strike back out or ghost dash back and forth, right? So let's get into it.
They could have just met each other. You have no idea.
Getting away.
Well, they did
Take
say
this
their
window up
average
here,
is
poke
3,500.
that.
So
Look at there. Okay,
matter.
now look at there. That is dangerous. And like I said, these are GMs. They're going to punish stuff like this. But one of the things you can do when you're comfortable with this, I like to get in Reinhardt's face. So ideally, I miscalculated my dash. Ideally, I would have landed right here behind him. And then, so I would have dashed into the Reinhardt, 180'd, flicked him in the back of the head with my shurikens, right here, flicked him in the head right here. He's going to turn around and get all frustrated, and that opens his shield up, or maybe he starts swinging, that's even better. So this is that brawling Genji style that I'm talking about, and this is a risky play. Once again, I'm not advocating for this, but I do use this often, and I don't get punished for it. Swift strike into Reinhardt, turn around, flick him in the back of the head, and then start deflecting. That's the combo, right? Swift strike, 180, flick and melee at the same time, and then he's going to get mad. And, the rest of his team, they got a Junkrat here. They got a, what is that, Anna or Soldier or something. They got a Mercy. They're well protected. All I'm doing here is building ult and psychologically punishing them. So that's it. You can do that kind of stuff once you get comfortable with it. And it really, so when you pull Reinhardt's shield down, of course, the rest of your team is going to get poke from that. So that's a great thing to do, in my opinion. But again, it is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
matter if they're good if they don't know each other that well.
All right, now I've got ult. I'm gonna stop poking. Stop poking. When you have ult, don't poke, unless you're gonna get a kill. Now, and by all means, go ahead. But don't be giving this trash damage out when you have ult, because really you're not building any ult. You're not killing anybody. All you're doing is charging their support ult. The Mercy's getting ult because you're doing this. So stop. So you can see me, I'm gonna get behind the shield. I'm still poking like an idiot. Oh, now, this is where I'm gonna start talking about momentum. Our Reinhardt just charged in this way. That is a lot of, okay, so that means he just made all of this our space for a little while until he gets killed, you know, or whatever. Lots of Reinhardts do this, and this is a good tank. His name's Pharaoh. He's a good tank. He knew what he was doing, and he knew our team would follow up when he did this. So this is creating what I'm calling momentum. He made all of this space, and he made a huge distraction. Everybody is looking at Reinhardt right now. He's going to go in, and he's going to start swinging the hammer, and they're all going to be focusing on him. This is the perfect time to Genji Blade. Nobody's going to be looking at me. It's going to be adding to the chaos of the situation. People won't be able to focus targets anymore. They're not looking at Ryan. They're looking at me, or maybe they're not looking at me. They're looking at Ryan. They're looking at somebody other than what they should be doing, right? They're all split up, and they can't focus like that. So with Genji, when you decide to ult, there's two different styles. There's the spam blade ulting, where you just spam blade as often as possible. You keep poking, poke as much as you can, build ult as fast as you can, and just pull out your sword and, you know, go at it. This is more of the assassin style, where while I am brawling on the front line, I'm waiting for my tank to make some momentum, or maybe our Widow or a McCree or somebody, maybe they get a pick. That's also momentum. Any kind of momentum, that's when you start taking advantage of it with an ult. Now, too much momentum, you don't need to waste. If it's a 6v2, don't use blade. Just stagger them with normal abilities, chase them down. It's not worth it. Don't waste blade on a 6v2 situation. But this is great. This is a 6v6. Our Reinhardt is pushed in. Let's just watch what happens. All right. Soldier is ulting at me. He is trying to counter ult. Look at the kill cam. That's one mistake a lot of players make. And my monitor is kind of large too, so I have a hard time seeing up here. I actually have to move my head. That's something you want to tune. Make sure that you always know how many people are on the field. Reinhardt got rezzed. Our Reinhardt killed their Reinhardt, and I just killed Mercy. Now, of course, Mercy is my first target, right? This was during the Mercy meta. She was extremely strong, and we're going to make sure that Mercy dies first. Now, Mercy is not my first target, but she's definitely high on the priority list. So obviously right now, I can see this soldier. He's ulting right in front of me. Look at his health. He has not much health right there. So I'm going to take care of him as fast as possible. And right next to him right here, it's hard to see, there's a Junkrat right there. That's a Junkrat. So I'm going right in. I could deflect immediately, but I don't want to waste time using deflect while I have blade unless it's absolutely necessary. Unless it's absolutely necessary. I'm wasting like 3 swings, I think it is. You deflect for 1 second, you're wasting 2 swings. So yeah, deflecting during your ult is going to cost you 2 swings. Let's watch.
Versus down.
All
Oh,
right.
good ult.
All right, I died. That's okay. We got a 3 kill, and I got res. Reinhardt's up here. I'm protecting the back line, making
I
sure.
almost missed, but I missed by accident.
All right,
That
now this is a good area for you to poke in. You see how it provides me vision. It provides me vision of everything going on over here, obviously, right? Anything going on underneath. If they try to use this high ground, this is mine. This is mine. There is a health pack right underneath me inside this area here. There's a health pack way back there. And back in the library behind me, even further back, is another health pack. I'm also in proximity to my team. I can escape to them pretty quickly, and the payload's behind me. So this is where I want to be with Genji right now. It provides me a lot of poke opportunity. Now that I only have 5% ult charge, I'm going to have to start working on that. Let's skip ahead. I think, let's see, 5:45 is where I want to be. Is that right? Yep. Okay.
Advantage is mine.
All right.
Alright, roll here.
Built my ults up again. Let me see. Do I press tab at some
We still
point
have a few
here?
more tries of this.
Okay. I need you to be able to see.
I will not falter.
IG just switched.
My ultimate
Mine.
is charged. Attack with me.
Hoping that I'll press
The
tab so I
advantage
can
is
show
mine.
you
All right,
what
roll
ults
it here.
we
Let's go.
have. All right, regardless. So Reinhardt, my Reinhardt has his Earth Shatter, right? He's going to ult, and he's going to do it on the payload, which is located right here. So they're going to go straight up the middle, and I'm going to go up here, right? And I'm going to ult them from this location, and I'm going to swing back around over here, and I'm going to ult near the payload, wherever Reinhardt decides to, Earth Shatter. And so now I'm listening for the audio cue. Reinhardt's going to say, hammer down, and then I'm going to use that momentum that Reinhardt just created with his ult and take out at least 2 people, right? That's my goal. I want to take out the 2 most valuable people on the field. And I'll show you who those 2 people are in just a second.
We still have a few more tries of this. So.
My ultimate is ready.
All right, you see me? I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah.
Mercy's up top.
Hammer down. All right. Those are the most valuable targets on the field. So, particularly this soldier right here, this soldier, he has vision of everything. This is an excellent position for this soldier to be in, and you can see why he's so dangerous right now. I'm targeting him before I target Mercy. I've got to get him off of this high ground because well, first of all, it's high ground, and, he's soldier. He has vision of this area, he can see here, he can see me, and he can see the area beneath me. He has everything. The only thing he doesn't have is a easily accessible health pack, but he's got a Mercy that's pocketing him right here. This is the most valuable player without a doubt right now. I need to take him out with Dragon Blade.
Hiding up there.
Oh,
Mercy.
Trace
Now
is
Ryan.
kind.
All right, we're dead. Okay, I died. We're looking at the kill cam, right? So very, very valuable blade right here. That's very valuable. And our Mercy rezzed our Reinhardt. That's great. But we died. I died. Our main healer died, and I died, of course. So we're winning this fight. We're not gonna win it, but we should have. So anyway, it's a 6v4. Or no, it's not. It's a 4v4, right? Yeah, 4v4, something like that. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's see. Did I have something else? But like I said, how I'm emphasizing this momentum and picking out valuable targets, right? Let's keep this up. I
Yeah.
think there's
Still fighting?
Two.
Two is possible.
all right.
You have equal spawn distance.
Going back. I'm gonna go right back up here. I'm gonna go right back to
Hard's
that
behind us.
position. Oh no, I'm not.
One way.
All right, let's skip ahead. We lose this fight too.
We spawn together.
Oh, there's soldiers up top.
There's a soldier getting a valuable position again. Our diva goes up there. I do not go up to help.
Start
I probably should.
My spirit grows strong.
Poking Zarya. She's fat, and I mean it's easy.
Damn.
to trade.
I'm looking at soldier who's behind up there. Oh, no, he's not. He's got the high ground again.
Still behind us.
So you can see the confusion,
Pushing or not?
right? All right, now I need to go counter him on this position again, right? Look at that. He knew he was not going to hit me with this grenade. He knew he wasn't, but it's a message, right? He's trying to say, this is mine. He knew he wasn't going to hit me. He's a GM soldier. I'm not going to get poked by your grenade. He knew what he was doing. He's sending a message. It's a psychological game. But to me, you just burn a cooldown. That's all that is. You just burned a really valuable cooldown, and I can take advantage of that. He has obviously a mercy and there's a mercy and a soldier up there. Very, very valuable position again.
Okay.
Hey, let's go around. Go around. Don't go.
I'm looking at where my team is before I engage.
See where I am. We're gonna pass through here.
This is a stupid
set,
engagement.
Go.
Keep punishing, keep poking, try to get him off here.
Need some help? I got stuck. Don't get near me.
Look how low he is. See what I
res me
mean?
and-
He's still got that position up there, but man, he sure was looking at me for a long time. And you know, it wasn't really a good engagement on my part. But you see, I'm trying to harass him out of that position and you know, try to make him sweat as much as possible. So that's valuable to me. Unfortunately, they were poor engagements on my part, where you know, not very good mechanics and not good decision making. I probably shouldn't have dashed into him like that with a mercy pocketing him, and now he has a Zen orb up there too. I mean, that soldier's good to go. His team is very, very supportive of that position, and they should be. It's the best. I think it's probably the best position for a soldier to be on this entire map. All right, let's see. There's more countering positions at, yep, we already passed that. All right, let's switch videos. Gonna look at one little thing, and I think only just because it's a cool play. It's not really a big deal at all. This was an older video, I think. Yeah, it was during a scrimmage where I got a quad kill, and it was only because of the way I used Genji. Okay. Missed the dash. Oh. They're all in this enclosed space right here, and they got a Junkrat. This is something that you can use when, especially in the early fight, where people like to take these flanking routes, and if they all go the same way, deflecting into them is extremely easy. So you can see here, it's no problem. It's because they had a Junkrat that didn't know that I was deflecting. He didn't hear the sound cue, and he couldn't see it because there was so much chaos on the screen. Yeah, so that pretty much concludes what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you got a handle on when to use your ults, how to take people out of positions that are important, identifying positions that are important, who you need to counter, like Widow and anybody in positioning. You saw where I was hitting that D.Va in the early game too. That D.Va's usually not a big problem for Genji. So you know, use her for ult charge too. And if D.Va's diving on you, that's an advantage for you. That's good. That's good. You can always deflect her missiles if you have to. Wait until she starts using them before you deflect. You don't want to burn deflect and then get hit with missiles from her. That sucks. We talked about momentum a lot. Understanding where health packs are. Knowing your position relative to your team's position and the enemy's position, right? You didn't see me trickling in anywhere. I always went with my team somewhere, right? There was none of this, you know, backline crazy Genji stuff going on. That's not realistic. If you're playing with people that are significantly lower rank, you can get away with stuff like that. But if you want to climb and actually play well with Genji, you're not going to be able to take these engagements. Like when you saw me attack that soldier when he was being pocketed by Mercy, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good play. You know, I justified it a little bit by saying, hey, I want to harass him off of this position. Yeah, I could have easily gotten killed there, and my team was with me. So I don't know. Don't take engagements that are any worse than that. That's a very risky engagement. Also, we talked about the risky part of Reinhardt, right? When I said, you know, swift strike through a shield, turn around, flick, and then melee, and then start deflecting because, you know, he's going to start hitting you. Now, of course, keep in mind that you just burned all of your cooldowns to do that. So, you know, that might not be a net gain for you. You just have to decide how much is like punking this Reinhardt, how much is that worth to me? The psychological aspect of doing that, and making a big presence for yourself as like Genji, the brawler on the front line. Like, he's going in after you. You know, there's a presence there that's important, a psychological effect of the game. All right, I think that's about it, man. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.